You have to fight through some bad days to earn the best days of your life. Hello there. We're happy you could join us for another educational edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Jamaica joins other nations in observing World Sickle Cell Day. The aim is to bring awareness and increase public knowledge about the disease, providing greater understanding of the challenges experienced by patients, their families, and caregivers. Stay with us as we take you through another well-anticipated half hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowan. This is your JIS News for Wednesday, June 19, 2024. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is assuring members of the diaspora that government is making significant investments in the police force to ensure the dismantling of gangs and a decline in major crimes. He points out that these investments are being made in new technologies, training, and increased manpower.
So I want to give you the assurance as a diaspora that we are taking a multifaceted, multi-layer strategic approach in reducing crime without, at the same time, violating the human rights and the standards that our people expect of us.
The Prime Minister was addressing the ceremonial opening of the 10th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference on Tuesday. More than 1,100 delegates were in attendance for the event, which was held at the Montego Bay Convention Center. Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake says steps are being taken to improve the negative perception of the Jamaica Constabulary Force that persists, despite major investments taking place. He says this will include an intense communication strategy.
The conversation has started. Our social media sites have been active. We go out and have discussion with our members and our wider public in order to, improve the information that is out there.
Dr. Blake was addressing a Riverside chat at the Diaspora Conference on Monday. In more news from the conference, the government plans to expand the reach of its Jamaica Export and Investment Business Mission into non-traditional markets this year. Last year, the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Auburn Hill, led a delegation to the Caribbean and traditional markets such as the United States, Canada, and London.
This year, we're doing a lot of non-traditional markets. So next month, we're doing Latin America, Mexico, Colombia, Costa Rica, and El Salvador. And at the end of August, early September, we'll be doing Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, and Sierra Leone.
The president of JAMPRO outlined this year's mission while addressing a plenary session of the Diaspora Conference on Monday.
The objective of those missions are twofold. We're not just going there talking about Jamaica and what a wonderful place we are to invest, because we are. We are also bringing with us business people from Jamaica who we will put in contact with business people in those countries with a view to exporting to that country or developing business partnerships. So if you are interested in any of these missions, please talk to us.
In the meantime, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Auburn Hill, is calling on more diasporans to invest in orchard farms locally. He says that while there is a growing market for exports of local produce, Jamaica does not produce enough to meet the demands of overseas markets.
We need a lot more ackee, a lot more mango, a lot more breadfruit flour and slices, a lot more mangoes. And for that to happen, we need to see 500 acres, 1,000 acres of mangoes and breadfruit orchards being grown.
Minister Hill stresses that there are many benefits to be derived from investments in agriculture production and its byproducts. To this end, he assures that the government, as well as the private sector, stand ready to provide support for members of the diaspora seeking to invest.
And when you come, we have benefits like the productive input relief, where the government will give you relief from customs, give you custom waivers, all the taxes that are related to that import, not just the machinery, but the material as well. So diaspora can bring their money in here and VM JN, and all the other financial institutions made it very clear, GK Capital, that they will help you get money in Jamaica, to invest in Jamaica, even as you bring your seed money in from overseas.
The 10th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference wraps up today. In other news, the government has allocated roughly $40 million towards the construction of a coffee storage facility. This is to enhance the caliber and international recognition of Jamaican coffee. The new facility was unveiled recently at the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, JACRA's Marcus Garvey Drive location in Kingston. Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Floyd Green, says the warehouse boasts military-grade equipment to precisely trace shipment stages, in addition to sophisticated temperature and humidity control systems.
And of course, on-site laboratory for cupping, quality testing for our export-ready coffee. And we're going to continue to infuse the new age technology to ensure that when people come to visit, they see that we have the best of kind right here in Jamaica, led by JACRA.
Jamaica will now have the benefit of a new software platform called the eDelfin Donor to streamline and enhance blood donation and management island-wide. The software facilitates donor registration and management, screening and deferral tracking, and allows for the scheduling and organization of blood drives. These are in addition to cross-matching blood types, inventory management for blood products, and integration with laboratory and hospital systems. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dunstan Bryan, made the announcement last Friday on World Blood Donor Day. He also revealed that the Spanish Town Hospital Blood Collection Center would be operating for an additional day each week. Starting June 25, the Blood Collection Center will open every Monday and Saturday. And finally, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport is partnering with J. Ray & Nephew Limited for this year's Emancipation Independence celebrations. The entities recently signed an agreement that will see the private sector company providing sponsorship support worth $20 million to stage the island-wide events. Managing Director of J. Ray & Nephew Limited, Jean-Philippe Père, says the company will also provide support to its private sector partners for hosting other related activities during the period. Emancipation and independence activities are to be held from July 31 to August 6, with major emphasis on the country's significant achievements over the years. Minister Olivia Grange says this year's celebrations promise exciting activities each year over the period. The festivities will commence with a media launch on June 20, with other events leading up to the finale, the Grand Gala on Independence Day, August 6. And that's it for GIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
With an outturn that marks the largest in its 20-year history, the 10th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference wraps up today at the Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James. There's much to explore from the 3 days of engagement, but for now, here's just a taste of what transpired on day one, when the roles of the Jamaican missions and the importance of the diaspora communities dominated discussions. As you'll see next, stakeholders were advised on the wealth of support systems available to Jamaicans living overseas.
With more Jamaicans living abroad than on the island, the need for more services and partnerships to protect the welfare of nationals have increased. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, emphasized that the support is being provided through the missions.
We are engaging more with international organizations to see how we can find funding to provide more support and sustenance for our most vulnerable citizens overseas as well.
The conversation also looked at the synergy between the Jamaican missions and the diaspora community to deliver essential services.
Many persons here know that the embassies and the consulates, we facilitate the passports, the citizenship applications, pension refunds, answer queries that you may have about doing business in Jamaica and so forth, but it goes way beyond that.
At the consulate in New York, for example, we see 250 applicants daily. We received last year, in 2023, we received inbound calls that totaled 2,223,000 calls. For the passport applications, we processed for 2023, 10,181 applications. For the citizenship applications, we processed 764 citizenship applications.
Minister Johnson Smith said the linkages are also necessary to find new ways to support members of the diaspora with local charities and business ventures.
What we want to do is help you with the pathways to support each other in your charities, in your community work, and in your business, so that we can, in fact, grow as a community wherever it is that we are located, Jamaicans supporting Jamaicans wherever we are.
Day one saw a highly engaged conference with several sessions on national security, health, customs, green entrepreneurship, and a marketplace showcasing the services of government ministries and agencies, as well as sponsors of the event. The delegates have also indicated their willingness to serve in the areas of their fields. Reporting from the Montego Bay Convention Center for JIS TV, I am Simone Reed Hilton.
The Ministry of Education and Youth is on trend, actively transforming education for national development. Find out more in this upcoming video.
In a globalized world where nations must empower their people to become innovative citizens, Jamaica is ready to set the trend, transforming education for national development. Led by the Ministry of Education and Youth, the mission is for a brighter tomorrow. The 2021 Patterson Report made it clear we need to ensure better quality education throughout all levels of the system. While the ministry will lead the charge, we need all stakeholders to get into position to help Jamaica become a more globally competitive nation. Students, educators, parents, civil society, business people, media and communities. Jamaicans across all sectors can play a role. The journey to a brighter tomorrow starts now. Deliberate action is being taken on 7 strategic priorities up to 2030. 7 pillars of change to transform education. Better governance for better outcomes. Efficient spending and enhanced strategic focus. Improved and equitable access to quality early childhood education. Improved quality of teaching and curriculum delivery. A higher education sector that is coherent, equitable, and well-resourced. Developing critical thinking, lifelong learners who are creative, innovative, and productive, contributing to the country's sustainable development. Technical, vocational education and training built into the secondary level to support the development of entrepreneurial skills. World-class facilities and infrastructure in a technology-enabled sector, and increased access at all levels of the system to equitable and sustainable funding. These are the 7 keys to unlocking our next level of exceptional learners and critical thinkers. With a lifelong desire to learn, Jamaica's youth have the power to not only elevate their own standard of living, but also to enhance the well-being of all Jamaica. As we push forward with Trend, we will create educational systems of success, assigning the best people to manage the process. Give more attention to early childhood education so we can stimulate excellent learner performance from the start. Empower our educators to create learning experiences that transform minds and lives for greater impact. Build an aligned network of tertiary learning institutions focused on delivering accreditations that strengthen the impact of our tertiary graduates. Provide physical and technological learning spaces that deliver equitable access and resources to all types of learners, and optimize educational budgets and resources to guarantee greater results from early childhood to tertiary level learning.
So that Jamaica may under God increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Let's trend so Jamaica will continue to be prosperous and more globally competitive. Trend, transforming education for national development, changing minds, changing lives for a brighter tomorrow.
We know you want better roads in your towns and communities. That is why through the SPARK program, your government is allocating over $40 billion over 2 years to fix your community and rural roads. $20 billion will go towards fixing smaller roads in every area, with $150 million allocated per area. The remaining funds will be distributed based on road length and condition, ensuring areas with greater need receive more assistance. Your government is caring for you.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
What are the myths and facts surrounding food infestation? And how do you keep what you consume safe and healthy? Keep watching.
The Food Storage and Prevention of Infestation Division is mandated to ensure the wholesomeness of food entering commerce. So it's a division that is geared towards food safety. And to do that, we have an inspectorate unit, that is our frontline unit, that would go to the various points of entry to anywhere that stores food. So we have inspectors stationed at the ports of entry, at supermarkets, warehouses. We check containers. Inspectors are almost anywhere where food is stored.
The Food Storage and Prevention of Infestation Division has been accredited to the ISO 17020 standard, which certifies their competence in doing food and field inspection in premises, containers, and on ships.
We also do breeding for schools and universities. So yes, we do that with the rats. We actually do trapping as well. We go out into the field and we do trapping. So at various locations, we'll take some designated rat traps and we go out and we would trap rats and we breed them in-house.
The division also comprises of a rodent biology and control unit where they conduct efficacy testing to see how effective rodenticides are on the rats.
There are some myths floating around with rats and how to keep rats away. And one of the myths is that you have to spice up the poison for them to eat it and to die, which isn't really so. It's best not to add things like gravy or other foodstuff to the poison. What you want the rat to do is to eat as much of the poison as possible.
Another myth is that by using select rodenticides, you will not be able to smell the rat once it dies.
The smell of the rat has to do with really how the time at which it dies and how far it is from where you thought it died. Another myth is that the rats can't climb on wires. Some of us would really see that they can climb on wires. You can see them on utility wires. Another myth is that if a rat bites your fruit, for example a mango, you can cut off that bitten portion and eat the rest. No, it's best to discard it and best not to eat it, because if the rat has eaten part of it, they could mess on the rest of the fruit, so you wouldn't want that. So if you have a fruit that is bitten by rats, best to discard it.
In addition to the Rodent Biology and Control Unit, the Food Storage and Prevention of Infestation Division also has other testing laboratories such as the Pesticide, Residue and Microtoxin Unit, a Microbiology Unit, and an Entomology Unit. For more information on the Food Storage and Prevention of Infestation Division, an entity under the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, visit or call them at their offices at 15 Gordon Road in Kingston or 30 to 34 Market Street, Montego Bay, St. James.
Motorists, when driving on the road, here are some simple reminders. Look out for and extend courtesy to all road users. Give plenty of room to pedestrians, especially in wet weather. Drive slowly. No bother wet them up. Slow down when approaching a pedestrian crossing or school, and always be prepared to stop. Remember, a school zone is a 30-kilometer zone. Cut your speed. Drivers of large and slow-moving vehicles should always keep in the far left hand of a dual carriageway. Keep it simple. Drive left and pass right. These are just simple reminders of your road duties. Drive safely.
When you think about it, tires are the only contact between motorized transportation and the road. Now, this makes them a critical element to ensure safety in the traffic environment. Come, let's find out more about tires before taking your vehicle on the road.
I have absolutely no idea what this is or what it's even used for. But today on AutoSpot, I'm going to be learning all about tires, and who knows, I might even end up changing one myself.
A tire is a ring-shaped component that surrounds the rim, which helps to cushion the road feel and offer traction and stability of the vehicle. You have all-purpose tires, which can use in all terrain. You have wet tires. For wet tires, it's for like wet road condition. You can't use a dry tire in the wet season. You will get slippage. For the tire to be completely functional, you need the rim. You need air to be inflated in the tire to get it to the correct air pressure so that it's suitable for road condition. A cold tire is when the temperature inside the tire is reduced to like normal road temperature. At that time is the correct time to check the air pressure within the tire to give you an accurate reading. For the hot tires now is when you're driving on the road for a long duration of time and the heat inside the tire builds up and increase the pressure inside the tire. Tire inflation is the pressure inside the tire, which can be in kilopascal, bars, or PSI. There's an instrument called the tire pressure gauge, which I have here with me. You use to take the tire pressure. I can demonstrate for you. First, we'll have to remove the dust cap from off the tire. Place the tire pressure gauge on the tire valve, and it automatically push out the tire pressure gauge and give you the correct reading.
The driver still needs to play a big role in the safety of the vehicle on the road. Now, we see a lot of vehicles coming into our premises at our body shop, and we see a lot of accidents that could have been easily prevented. People texting, people not paying due care and attention when they're on the road. Now, Jamaica had over 370 odd deaths last year on the road. The big target to get it under 300 this year, and that can easily be achievable if people just pay a bit more care and attention when they're driving on the road.
The tyre normally has a manufacture date on the side. From that date in which the tyre was produced, you can know when the tyre needs to be changed. Within 4 to 6 years of the manufacture date, the tyre is due for replacement.
But what if I'm on the road and I have a flat tire, what do I do?
Okay, the first step is to park the vehicle in a secure location, flat surface. Pull up the emergency handbrake, ensure that the vehicle don't run back or anything. Then you gather your tools, including a jack, lug tool for the jack. Alright. Here you have the lug. You're gonna place the lug tool on that, ensure that the correct lug tool is fit perfectly, and you push it down in the anti-clockwise position.
Okay.
And you do that for all 5 lugs.
Okay, and it's usually 5 lugs?
No, some vehicles carry 4, some carry 5, some carry 6. But for this application, it's 5.
Okay. So what else do you do after that?
After you remove the lugs, you remove the complete wheel and you have it all for yourself. Then you go for your spear and place it back on here and screw on back. You tighten back your lugs.
Alright, so this is what you use to tighten it back?
Yeah, this is the lug tool.
So you're going in the other direction?
Yeah, clockwise. Turning. And you always tighten diagonal. Right, you tighten in the clockwise direction.
So which one?
Clockwise.
First.
It can be anyone, but you have to tighten it diagonal. This, then this, and this. Yeah. Cross and cross. So the wheel go on even. And then let down the vehicle, and then you finally torque the lugs to make sure that they are articulate.
Where do we usually find the spare tires?
Alright, depending on the vehicle type, sometimes the spare is under the vehicle, and the back of the trunk, or inside the trunk.
So it's not as simple as it seems, but it's clearly doable. It's all in a day's work, well, at least for a newbie like me. But really, it should take about 10 to 15 minutes to change. I can promise you there's so much value in learning to get the job done. I certainly feel accomplished.
Money are your problem, car are your problem. Hey, whatever the problem is, just let it go, because stress is not a flex. A quick way to let go the stress is to find someone you can share your concerns with. And if you can't do that, then find other ways to release your stress, because stress is not a flex.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has embarked on a journey to help our youth let go the stress, installing wellness benches in schools across Jamaica, setting them up as safe spaces for communication about mental challenges. If you can't find a seat on the bench, get a hold of this exercise to help you alleviate the stress.
First of all, I want you to think about the worst thing that offends you and upset you and you're uncertain about. Just think about it. And then, after 3, I want to transfer the stress from the brain into the ball, and it has to show on the face. 1, 2, 3.
This is where we close the curtain on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Be sure to join us tomorrow on this same station for all the information you need to know. Until then, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for this and more happenings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry, reminding you that you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.